Today I'll be going over Let's Be Rational Quiz 3 review. Number 1 says estimate each product, then find each product, show your work. A says 1/2 times 2/5. In our class we talked about when we estimate, we round fractions. If the fraction go ahead and rounds up to 1, we round it to 1. If it doesn't, we leave it alone. 1/2 does round to 1. Times 2/5 would actually round down to 0, so we're going to leave that alone. So we have 1 times 2/5, which is 2/5. Then it wants the actual product. So when we multiply fractions, we do not have to have common denominators. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. So our product is 2/10, which can be reduced by 2, which gives us 1/5. B says 3.5 times 4/5. 3.5, we're going to round it, since it's a mixed number, to the closest whole number. So it's either going to be 3 or 4. 3.5, we round up to 4. 4/5 rounds to 1. If it had rounded to 0, we would have left it alone. But since it rounds to 1, we round up. So we have 4 times 1 is 4. The actual product, to be able to multiply this, we have to change our 3.5 into an improper fraction. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Denominator stays the same. We could choose to reduce at this point if we want. We have a 2 and a 4. 2 goes into 2 1. 2 goes into 4 twice. We end up with 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 5 is 5. We cannot leave our answer like this, so we do 14 divided by 5. The top number always goes in the house. The bottom number always goes in the outside of the house. 5 does not go into 1. 5 into 14 goes 2. Excuse me. We put our remainder over our divisor, and we come up with an answer of 2 4/5. C is 10 3/5. 10 times 3/5. We could choose to rewrite this if the parentheses confuses us, like this. To estimate, we round our fraction. If it rounds up to a 1, we do it. If it doesn't round to 1, we leave it alone. 3/5 will round to 1. You have 10 times 1 is 10. So that's our estimate. Now we have our exact. To be able to multiply these, you put your whole number over 1. Again, I can reduce. 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into itself 1 time. 2 times 3 is 6. And our answer is 6. Moving on to number 2. Estimate each quotient, then find each quotient, show your work. So we have 2/3 divided by 1/2. So for this one, we're talking about division of fractions. We talked about a shortcut that we discovered in class, which we call reciprocal. To find the reciprocal, we change our division sign to a multiplication, and we flip our second fraction. The first fraction stays the same. So now I have 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3, which is 1 1/3. B, 2.5 divided by 4/5. Just like with multiplication, we cannot have a mixed number. We need to change it to an improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2, divided by 4 over 5. To divide fractions, we use reciprocals. So we flip the second one and change our sign to multiplication. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 4 is 8. 25 divided by 8. We take our remainder, put it over our divisor, and we come up with 3 1/8. C says 12 divided by 2/5. We need to get a reciprocal since these are going to be fractions. Again, I changed my division to multiplication. I flipped my second fraction. I could choose to reduce here. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. If you choose to not reduce like this, you'll still end up with the correct answer, 30. You'll just have to reduce at the end. 33. Sarah is making pudding. She has 4½ cups of milk. If she uses 2/3 of a cup of milk to make 1 serving of pudding, how many servings can she make? Explain your reasoning. So if she has 4½ cups, and we need each serving to have 2/3 of a cup, we talked about this in class. The first number should be everything that you have, whether it's pudding mix, whether it's cocoa mix, whatever it is. The whole of what you have is here, then the division sign, and then this second number would be how much you need each of it to be. If you need each serving to have 2/3 of this, it would go here. If you need to have 2/3 of your cup of ice cream, it goes here. The part is here and everything that you have is here. So again, we need to change our mixed number to an improper fraction, which gives us 9/2. Change for reciprocal for division. So change this to multiplication and switch your second fraction. 9 times 3 is 27. 2 times 2 is 4. So I divide 27 divided by 4. Oops, sorry, 6, 24, 3. Remainder goes over a divisor, and you get an answer of 6 3/4. All right, 4. Last one. Says Julie is also making pudding. She starts with 8 1/4 cups of milk. She has used 1/2 of her milk. How many cups of milk has she used so far? All right, so you could picture that and figure it out that 1/2 of 8 is 4 and 1/2 of a 4th is an 8. So you could put those together. But if she's used 1/2, we're taking everything that she has and we're dividing it into 1/2, or dividing it by 2. Or divided by 2. So then, to be able to divide, we have to change this to a improper fraction. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33/4, divided by 2/1. To divide fractions, we need to do a reciprocal, which means change the division sign to multiplication and flip the second. We end up with 33 times 1 is 33. 4 times 2 is 8. We can divide that out. 8 into 33 goes 4. Take our remainder, put it over a divisor, and she ends up with 4 1/8 cups left. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.